Hey Glenn, thanks for getting this in. Okay, and nice job on the assignment objective of changing the mood using just light. You've got her in the same setting, same model, same everything, and the mood is significantly different now, isn't it, with the way that you've changed your lights. So great. And then here we've got your meter shot, perfect, and here we have your equipment shot. Now ideally, I would have two different equipment shots, or lighting setup shots, one for each of your best images. And I know a lot of times we choose our best images after the fact. So basically, whenever you significantly change your lighting setup, you want to just take a quick snapshot of the scene. It looks like you're in a really tight space. So that's challenging. That's challenging. And I think you did a pretty good job considering how tight a space you have, really. I mean, a lot of these are just really dynamic. I would love to see a big version of this. I'm just really enjoying the compositional quality of this shadow right there. I'm getting a big kick out of it. Because typically, when doing portraiture, these two, really, when doing portraiture, a lot of times we don't want to see the background. We don't want to see it for what it is. Here we can tell it's cotton muslin. Sorry. Cotton muslin, and we don't want to see that, And so ideally, we would move the model, maybe to like about here. Like she would be here, at least that far away from the background, so that you can get the background out of your depth of field, so it becomes abstracted through just not being in focus. But then you would need several more feet of your room here, right? And you just don't have it, so that's okay. I think you're doing pretty well with the space that you've got. Okay, so, and then compositionally, I think these are good. This one is really, I think, really good. Again, like I don't want to see the wrinkles in the muslin, but I accept it because I can see the space you're shooting in. When you move on to the studio photography course, you're going to want to find or arrange a better space. Like even if you have a garage that is, like a one-car garage is even big enough, because if you can find a way to get your stuff out of there, that's a deep and wide enough space so that you can utilize your depth of field and you have enough space to move around your lights. I don't have a garage. So whenever I say that to people, I kind of cringe inside. I'm like, really? Who has a garage? But maybe you do. I don't know. One other option that you can always do is if when you move on, if you're serious, you want to become a pro, you can, for a reasonably low fee, rent a storage unit, the kind that just opens up with a garage door, and usually they'll have an electrical outlets in there, and you can use that for your shots too. And they're okay to rent, on and off throughout the year, because it's a place that you can keep totally clean. Just put your studio equipment, like your backdrops and stuff, in there, maybe a few stands, and then that's where you go for your shoots. Anyways, back to your images. Okay, so what you've given us is a significantly different light ratio for each. And here you've got the light coming from, this light source is, the key light source is coming from below and to the side of your subject matter. Slightly in front, but more to the side and below your subject. And then here you've got the lights, I'm assuming, a little bit above on both sides. I think you're using two lights here. It looks like they both have some kind of modification tool on them, so their size is effectively increased, because the light looks fairly soft. I'm just saying this based on the quality of the shadows I see cast by her. And the light is giving us a nice soft gradient, so the lights must be pretty close to her as well. And then here, I think the lights are further away, and you're probably not using a modification tool, because these are becoming much harder, right? Okay, so actually I could really, if I didn't see the muslin fabric, I would probably really get into the compositional qualities of this shadow here. I think it adds a lot of mood to that. Well, anyways, so I think you did a nice job meeting the objective of the assignment, using light to significantly change the mood. Oh, and you got a nice little light in her eye there too. That's really nice. So my criticism would then be, compositionally, this becomes a little bit awkward when the edge of her leg is just kind of like squished up against the frame. So really, you really want to get her fully in the frame, or just like cut her off completely at a tighter crop or something. Maybe even, oops, maybe even, I don't know. But so think about that. Think about how your subject matter intersects with the edges of your frame, and really be conscious of that. You know, make really, really clear choices. And then also, you said you shot your wife here. You took images of your wife. And you say also, like, oh, it's so hard to direct people. So, hey, here's another photographer's tip. You know who's easier to direct are people you don't know. In the course announcements, underneath the announcement called New Shots Every Week, I also say, hey, for the purpose of pushing you beyond your boundaries and becoming a professional, start engaging with models, like people that you don't know very well, people other than your immediate family member or your closest friends. We don't do that. We don't tell you to do that in this class just to be annoying and to make things difficult. We tell you that because it's time to step up your game. You know, you're learning how to use your professional lighting tools, and it's time to learn how to use your professional social skills. And I find, as a photographer, it is a lot easier for me to work with strangers. Not only that, but they give me the credit I deserve for being a pro, whereas when I'm shooting my family, they just get all goofy and, you know, they try to cooperate, but they know me too well, and they don't have the sort of professional respect for me as a photographer as somebody that didn't see me or change my diapers or whatever. You know what I mean? So that we tell that to you not just to help you become a pro, but because it's also a lot easier oftentimes, you know, and you can trade too. Like there's a lot of people out there that aren't even professional models, are just maybe thinking about it and would like to try, and will be your model just for the exchange of a few digital files so they can add it to their portfolio. So it's totally doable. Craigslist is your friend, you know, get on there. You know, start looking for people that are willing to offer their services as models. Or even, you know, acquaintances, you know, work chums that you're not really close with might be better too, because they're gonna treat you a lot differently than your family is. And it'll feel more natural. Okay, so there we go. There we have it. Thanks for getting this in. Good job giving us significantly different moods based on the lighting alone. You did great. I really enjoyed looking at this. Your wife looks like she was very cooperative. She's lovely. This was really nice to look at. Thank you.